This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take, for Monday night, November the 14th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. If you can subscribe, if you do subscribe, that means you'll be able to leave comments in the chat section, because that's the one thing I want you to do mostly. So subscribe so you can indeed get involved in the chat, and then like the video, like the fact that we are together talking about the Canucks. And today I'm going to take a break from talking about the Canucks, at least for my first part of the show. I'm going to talk about the SEDINS and Roberto Luongo going to the Hockey Hall of Fame tonight in a wonderful ceremony in Toronto. So subscribe, like this video. You're always welcome to leave donations and join the donation train. Remember, if you do donate, I will give you a special sound effect that is perfectly natural and spontaneous, and coming from me, man-made. You can also gift memberships to other people. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership. But most of all, make sure that you are indeed getting active in the chat section for sure. If you're listening on a podcast platform, thank you for doing that. Make sure you rate and review and help me out there as well. Also, what I've been doing recently is I've been encouraging all of you, just like I'm going to do right now, I'm going to encourage you to tweet out or to put on Facebook or on Instagram or a Snapchat or TikTok or whatever you guys are using. Maybe put a post real quick. Invite people to come to the stream right now and to talk about the Vancouver Canucks. And let's get more eyeballs into this stream. Moderators, thank you in advance. I appreciate you. Members, Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks to all of you. And finally, no matter where you're watching you from, whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston in Richmond in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I do not take you for granted. I know that you could be watching, doing anything else, but the fact that you're with me at 11:15, basically Pacific time, on a Monday night, I appreciate you. And I'm genuinely grateful to all of you. Saw some people chatting. By the way, if you're new here, I chat for the first 15 minutes or so, and then I will turn it over to you for the second half of the show. But I saw someone come in right at the end of Canucks After Dark. By the way, shout out to all of you, those of you that were at Canucks After Dark, so you're doing double duty today. I appreciate it. But it's someone named Kelly. Hi, Kelly. I want to highlight you because I did see you come in the Canucks After Dark at the end of it, and I have seen you on here before, and as you said right here, you subbed here last season. So I haven't seen you here in the streams recently, but the CCC community, Clay's Canucks Commentary community, definitely welcomes you. The CCC, the GLCPC, and any other acronym that you want to throw in here. So once again, thank you for being here. I want to talk about the Hockey Hall of Fame. I want to talk about the career of the SEDINS. Last night we talked about the loss to the Boston Bruins. We talked about Kuzmenko being benched, Boudreau's future, Podkolzin getting knocked out of the game, Riley Stillman not being very good, Kyle Burrows being a little bit better, Martin Demko. We talked about all that last night. And maybe you're going to want to talk about it in the second half of the show when it's your turn to chat. But for now, I'm going to spend the next 10 or 11 minutes talking about Henrik, Daniel, and Roberto Luongo, because that makes me happier. By the way, Lucas Gates starting off the donation train. Choo choo. Thank you. I never get sick of that. You guys probably are sick of that. Let's give some love to Lucas in the chat. $5 donation. I wonder if we can get 8 billion people on Clay right now. I will take 80. Hopefully we get to 80. I don't know if we're going to get to 8 billion. Like, sub, and reshare SEDINS Bobby Lou's Hockey Hall of Fame entry. Well deserved. Once again, thank you for that donation, Lucas. Thank you for always being so generous with your time, energy, and your money, for sure. No, don't worry. Kelly, where are you coming from? You said it's 2 a.m. there. No, the fact that you are here, and I'm the dummy who starts the show so late. For those of you that know me and have followed me for the past few years, you guys know that I have a pretty full schedule up until, and that's not even including Canucks games, going to games, but that I have a pretty full schedule every single night, and 11 o'clock is the best time for me to stream because it's when I know that at least I'm going to be home. Sure, I might be waking people up upstairs, especially with the donation choo-choo train, not the donation train, but yes, this is my best time. But I do appreciate all of you being here. And you're in Toronto. That is awesome, Kelly. Yeah, we have a few people that are in and out of here, Toronto, Montreal, and other places. Oh, that's a good thing. You guys, as we get going, type in the chat where you're watching. Jesse says, got to be honest, Choo Choo doesn't encourage to donate. Is it my Choo Choo? I mean, the way I say it, or should I be saying something else? But I do like the donation train, unless you think a different sound effect would be better. But I'm not just going to sit here and say, give me money or cha-ching, because I think that's kind of tacky. But not saying that choo-choo isn't. But donation train, that's the whole point. But thank you, Jesse, for your honesty. So yeah, put in the comments where you are coming from tonight. Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony was tonight from Toronto, hosted by James Duthie. And we had among the four players were Daniel Alfredson, the Sedins, and Roberto Luongo. You had a Finnish woman hockey player go in, and you had someone go in the builder category. But I want to focus on the three Canucks players for sure. And it's I want to. No, you guys know I don't show off. I'm just real with you guys. I want to share with you what I think about the Sedins, what I think about Luongo, and my own personal experiences with them as well. Well, Coach Rob just gave his entire address if anyone wants to send him anything. So let's start with Henrik Sedin. Actually, let's go in order of the way that they were inducted, or at least in the order that they gave their speech. So Daniel went first, and he I'd say he's not as sarcastic and maybe not as funny as Henrik. Actually, Gil and I were watching, and she made a comment that she found Henrik easier to understand even than Daniel. Daniel's English is fine, obviously, but just the way he said certain words, or maybe his voice wasn't as clear. And I told Gil it might come from Henrik was the captain, and he had to speak to the media much more actually than Daniel did. So maybe that was a small option. I mean, a small reason. But I found Henrik was a little bit easier to understand tonight than Daniel. But Daniel was great, very humble, and he basically said right at the start that it was appropriate that he got to speak first because it was basically the same order that they were drafted. He was 2 and Henrik was 3, so I thought that was a pretty witty remark. By the way, yes, Justin says a $5 donation to the donation train. Choo choo says Dono train to incoming massive changes up top, and hopefully a better team for us fans. We all deserve better because of our investment. Yeah, as I've always said here, no one's telling me how much time, energy, and money to devote to the team, but I decide to do so, much like you do, Justin, much like many other people do, and that's the way we are going to go. I actually have a brand new Stream Deck that I haven't even opened yet. It's still in its box. I'm going to start using it, and I'm going to actually, maybe for a future stream, I'll actually get a choo-choo donation so you don't hear my horrible falsetto. But more importantly, thank you, Justin, for the support and for the donation. So Daniel went first, and both Daniel and Henrik did a really good job of tracing their hockey journey and thanking Brian Burke, the guy who made 3 amazing trades on that draft floor in 1999 in Boston to get the Sedins. If you don't know the story, you got to follow. I don't have time to get into it now, but yeah, basically Brian Burke started with the 3rd overall pick and ended up with started with the 4th overall pick, ended up with the 2nd and 3rd pick through a series of 3 different trades. So Daniel went first. Daniel, an amazing career, 1,041 points in 1,306 games. So 1041 in 1,306. Not a point per game player because they started off their careers so slowly, and they ended off their careers quite slowly, but in the middle was much more than a point per game player for 3 seasons for sure. And Daniel had an amazing career, and he went first tonight in the ceremony. And his major accomplishments, aside from the stats in the regular season and the playoffs, also World Junior Championships, World Championships, and then I'm sure there's an Olympics in there. And then he basically won the Art Ross Trophy in 2011, which is the leading scorer. Ted Lindsay, which is MVP voted by the players, and then King Clancy in 18, which was a community type award. So Daniel went first. He was very good, and yes, I thought he set the stage quite well. Then it was Henrik, and Henrik was a tiny bit more sarcastic than Daniel. Dare I say, was a tiny bit more witty and entertaining. They were both fine. And one thing that Daniel was interesting. He thanked a lot of their line mates as well, including Anson Carter, who not a lot of Canucks fans like because he's been bashing the Canucks ever since he stopped playing here. Anyways, Henrik went second, and we know that Henrik missed the early part of the weekend, at least the first part where they got the rings, because he was trying to get rid of COVID. So the very first thing he says is, that he got over COVID. It was a close call, not getting to Toronto in time. But he did say that, like many coaches have told him before, that Henrik at 70% was better than Daniel at 100%. So that was a pretty funny line. Henrik then went on to continue to thank Brian Burke, and the many, many coaches, players. They gave a lot of props to Mark Crawford, to Alain Vigneault for helping them become better players. So was really, really, really nice to hear those kind of things. They both gave a lot of love to Alex Burrows, of course, their favorite line mate, the one line mate that did, that they had a lot of success with. So it was nice to hear Henrik. He also had one other funny thing where he was basically talking about to put the debate to rest of who was the better player. He basically said that when he got injured, Daniel's production fell off. But when then Daniel got injured, Henrik's goal scoring took off to where he was scoring at a 45 goal pace over an extrapolated 82 game season. So that was pretty funny to have Henrik say that kind of thing. Henrik ends up with 1,070 points in 1330 games. So about 30 more points than Daniel in 30 more games played, and very, very similar career arc to his brother. And for him, he won Art Ross for most points in 2010, Hart Memorial voted by the media most valuable player in 2010, and then the Clancy for community work in 16 and 18. So wonderful accolades for Henrik. And then last was Roberto Luongo, whereas Henrik and Daniel each went for 9 or 10 minutes. Roberto Luongo went for a good 19 or 20 minutes, and he was good. He was great. I like Luongo's speech because he basically, the very first thing he said was, when he found out that he was going to make it into the Hall of Fame, he asked if the SEDINS were going to make it in too, because as their teammate for 8 years, he wanted to make sure that it was an honor for him to go in at the exact same time as the SEDINS. So I thought that was very classy. Also very classy was the fact that he made a point of saying that not everyone knows all the people that are involved in someone's hockey career. So he started by talking about his parents, started by talking about playing hockey with his grandma, and by playing hockey with his brothers. And then he referenced all the friends that have supported him, and the billets, and the homestays, and the coaches, and all the way up. And then he spent a lot of time talking about his goaltending partners, everything from Jamie McLennan to Danny Sabrin to, of course, Corey Schneider. And that was really nice to hear as well. And he told some funny stories about all those players. And he was very, very humble as well, very gracious. And you guys know that, I guess you guys figured out that the SEDINS are there. And then I did this intentionally. Roberto Luongo's there, and I'm wearing the SEDINS shirt right now. And Roberto Luongo is my favorite player of all time. Luongo had 8 amazing seasons with the Canucks. Prior to that, he had 1 with the Islanders, where he drafted 5 with Florida, 8 with the Canucks, and then another 6 with Florida after that. But you see Luongo's stats when he was with the Canucks. Listen to the goals against: 228, 238, 234, 257, 211, 241, 256, 238. And then you see his save percentages: 921, 917, 920, 913, 928, 919, 907, 917. And then you see his wins, his regular season wins. Crazy. 47, 35, 33, 40, 38, and 31 among his seasons here. Then obviously he won the Jennings Trophy with Schneider, and then he won the gold medal with Canada in 2010. Now, a couple personal stories about each of these players, and then I'll turn it over to you. The SEDINS, I met them a few times at the golf tournaments and such. And then the one time the most memorable encounter I had with the SEDINS was 2019 in June. That was the year where I went to night one of the draft. Then I stayed up all night to serve at Sean's after grad party as he was graduating from high school. And then I went back for day 2 of the draft. But the night before the draft, so the Thursday night, they had a thing for season ticket holders where we got to hear, I basically see the draft set up and everything at Rogers Arena. And I have a nice picture taken with the SEDINS and with Alex Burrows. So that was my actual time talking to the SEDINS and for a few minutes at least, and thanking them for everything that they did for the team and for the city. And then, as you know, with Roberto Luongo, my favorite moment of him was Marie and I did a song for Roberto Luongo after he got traded. It was to Boys to Men, End of the Road. And then we posted it, shared it on Twitter. And unlike Bieksa, who blocked me on Twitter after I made a song about him, Roberto Luongo was quite the opposite. He actually sent Marie and me DMs on Twitter thanking us for our thoughtful song. So I thought that was very classy of him. And once in a while, I will trade DMs with him. Not very, very often, but once in a while I will do that. And it's pretty cool that he takes the time to respond. So just a couple quick stories about the SEDINS and about Henrik, and about Luongo. So I'm very grateful to have at least had the opportunity to meet all three of them. Finally, before we get to the mid-show sponsor read, want to give another recognition to Lucas, who adds the donation train. Choo choo! Anyone find it funny that the Sedin twins outlasted the Atlanta Thrashers club from the time they were drafted till the Thrashers bolted to Winnipeg? Wow, that's right. The Sedins outlasted entire franchises, at least in particular cities. So thank you once again for the donation, Lucas. And indeed, Kevin, Bieksa blocked you, but I've told that story a couple of times, and I won't tell it again. And I will say this. My last thing, and I want to leave this with you, and then we'll go into the mid-show sponsor read. Does this Hall of Fame weekend, these inductions, do you think it's going to have any effect on the team? Now, I'm not saying that the Canucks are going to be so inspired that they're going to run the table now and get over 500 by the end of the month. I'm not saying that at all. But I couldn't help but be inspired by listening to Daniel, Henrik, and Luongo talk. So if I was inspired, why can't current Canucks players be inspired? And I tweeted this. I said, I hope that the current Canucks players, especially those considered to be the core, listen to what Henrik, Daniel, and Roberto had to say tonight. They played with commitment, heart, pride, and a relentless drive to be better every day. That's why they're a Hall of Famer. So I would hope that a guy like Besser or Horvat or Miller, especially Demko, Pettersson, Hughes, guys like that, hopefully they caught some of the ceremony and they see or they understand or continue to understand what it takes to be a professional and how they can be better. And this is a really good point, Edmund, is also, there's Bieksa last week, November 3rd, for his retirement night. So in theory, they've heard and they've experienced, well, maybe they didn't experience Luongo and the Sedins not till December, but between Bieksa, Luongo, and the Sedins, 4 Canucks legends that you can't help but be inspired by. So let's get to the mid-show sponsor read, and then I'll get to any of your comments. You can talk about the Sedins, Luongo, the Hall of Fame induction, or anything you want about this team. I'll let you have at it. Shout out to my sponsors, my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. I see Jason in the chat today, so thank you, Jason, for always making time to come out to these. Thank you to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use that link that you see scrolling across the bottom of your screen, performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay, and Coach Patrick will contact you. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of my fine Hall of Fame artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the discount code CanuckClay at checkout at vessi.ca and receive $15 off every single pair of Vessi shoes that you buy. So once again, thank you to all the sponsors, and a mid-show reminder to all of you to subscribe so you can get involved in the comment section. Like the video. We only have 15 likes, but we have 50 of you in here. Let's bump that up. A smaller crowd tonight, but that's fine. And then make sure you continue to donate if you'd like to, add to the donation train, continue to gift memberships, and most importantly, keep chatting in the chat section for sure. Fangirl says, did Alvin go to the ceremony? If he was, I might have missed him on TV. I didn't see him. I saw Rutherford there. Aquilini was there. And I saw Cami Granado there, who likely played against the Finnish woman who got inducted. But I did not see Alvin there. The Warriors are about to finally debut their mascot soon. Did not know that, Lucas. You'll have to let us know what and who it is. Justin says the Canucks need to play with some pride. I agree with you, and maybe that will come starting tomorrow, hopefully. David says, why can't current Canucks players be inspired? I don't know, unlike for those that have. So why can't they? I hope they are. That's my point. I sure hope that they are. Bruce Clay, were you old enough to watch NHL hockey when Borje Salming played for the Leafs? Yeah, I am. I'm 48 years old, and yeah, by the way the Leafs did that was top notch. That amazing pregame tribute. So touching. So Salming, I'm just looking at his stats. Yeah, he played from 73 to basically 1990. And I was watching hockey when I was 5 or 6 years old. So yeah, I definitely remembered him when he played for the Maple Leafs. And his stats are pretty amazing, just how consistent he was, both in terms of points and in terms of penalty minutes. So kudos to Toronto for doing that tribute to him really nicely. Sharms, hey Clay, hope all is well. I am, thank you. Did you see that video of Hamhuis and Bieksa on the ice? Wish we had that pairing on the ice right now to play defense. I didn't see Hamhuis on the ice. I saw Bieksa, but only the stuff that he was doing in Vancouver. Is there another video floating around of that? And yes, they were. That was a good top six that we had, for sure. A good blue line we had. Where's the challenge? Unfortunately, I don't see the speeches helping them. It really seems that these players are uncoachable. Yeah, it sounds harsh when you say it like that, but it could be true. Reverse retros will be worn again on November 18th. That's this Friday. And March will be sold with jersey available. Oh, merch will be sold. I know it officially goes on sale tomorrow. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I took a friend in the team store last week, and they told us that it wouldn't be made available till this week, right? I guess tomorrow or Wednesday. So if you're at the game on the 18th, you will get a chance to buy a reverse retro jersey, not energy. Jason, if the Canucks win 5 in a row at any time, Clay will do a major sponsorship. I don't even know what that means, but I'm down. I'm down with that for sure, Jason. But the Canucks do have to win 5 in a row. Yeah, Justin, Parker and I were joking about this on Canucks After Dark. Aquilini did not look good. He didn't look engaged. He basically was sitting there like this the whole time. And he just, be happy. Look, these are 3 players that brought so much attention and class to the organization. I don't know. Maybe he was thinking about what he's going to do with his coaches. I don't, who knows. But yeah, it wasn't the best look by Aquilini for sure. Peter says, we all know that Bruce is gone. So what or who is the ideal coach? I've heard names like Mike Sullivan, Barry Trotz, and Rick Tocchet are the 3 names that I have heard. Tribute was so emotional. I agree, Coach Rob. Did you watch that game in 07 when Luongo had that bathroom kabuckle? What's a kabuckle? Bathroom kerfuffle? Or debacle? I think you're trying to say debacle. Yes, I was watching that game when Luongo had that debacle and Danny Sabrin had to cover the net. It was pretty crazy because they were all the organizers, all the announcers were trying to figure out in real time what was happening. Bieksa had an amazing speech when it was Bieksa night, and they just brushed his words off. Well, they won 8-5, so maybe they paid attention to some of his words. They won 8-5, and then Didn't the next game they beat Ottawa? Isn't that how it went? So didn't they go on a 2-game win streak after that? After that amazing speech? Oh no, there's a loss to Nashville in between. I forgot about that. Never mind. Justin, Trotz or Talking, if you could pick one to replace Bruce. If I had to pick, it would be, I like Trotz better. Don't see how Trotz would come down if he turned down the Just. That's true. Like, why would he come to Vancouver if he turned down Winnipeg? And look how good Winnipeg is doing, leading the Central Division. Jason, do I bet against the Canucks tomorrow and November 18th, or is that bad karma? I'm not here to judge, Jay. But I think, some people hedge their bets. They bet against the Canucks, so they say it's a win-win proposition because if the Canucks win, they're happy. But if the Canucks lose, they're happy because they win money. You do what you want. I think I know what you're going to do, but I won't reveal it here. Hey, Harry, how do you think, what would the Canucks pairings be tomorrow? If you're talking about D pairings, I think they're going to go with the same 6. I think they're going to go Hughes Shen. I think they're going to go Oyel Bear. And I think they're going to go Burrows Myers. I still think they're going to go, because I think unless Dermott's ready, I think that's the 6 that give them the best chance to win right now. Oh, yes, the BXA Hamilton was from the Hall of Fame game. I haven't seen any footage from that, though. But I do know that Luongo did the gritty. And then I do know that my boys will not let me try the gritty. For those of you who never saw Solving play, he was a warrior. Gave it all every shift, something the Canucks need to do. Great point, Bruce. He was a warrior, and he played in a time where the NHL did not look kindly upon non-North Americans, Europeans in particular. Francesco wished it was 2011 again, considering his facial expressions. Hope he accepts that the team needs a rebuild. Yes. Trotz hinted if he gets another opportunity to be original 6. That makes sense. Do I think Bruce might get fired after this week? I think if they lose badly tomorrow in Buffalo, I think he might not be here to coach on Friday. I really do. If they lose badly tomorrow in Buffalo. The true CCC crew is in here tonight. Francesco can do what he wants, but the fans will speak and do what they want to. Yes, there are a lot of troopers in here for sure. Peter says, come on home, Connor Bedard. Lucas Sullivan, he was the interim coach when Torch was banned from the week after the Flames brouhaha. That's right. He was the assistant coach. So when Tortorella was suspended for trying to storm the Flames dressing room, it was indeed left to Mike Sullivan, and then Mike Sullivan went on to coach the Pittsburgh Penguins. Did I see the Henrik and Daniel commercial in 2007? Is that the one where they're dancing, Swedish twins? I did see that one. Long shot if Trotz gets hired. Wouldn't mind it. Who would I start tomorrow and go? I'd go Martin. When do the Canucks wave the white flag and say this year's a wash and start trading players after 25 games? Yeah, I think after the next 2 weeks. Maybe not even get to 25 games by American Thanksgiving, which is almost 25 games. Hughes and Burrows together, we'll see. That could work. What is my favorite place in Canada? Well, I love where I live in Steveston, in Richmond, Vancouver, Greater Vancouver area. I really enjoy Kelowna. I enjoy the Okanagan. I like Winnipeg. I wouldn't say it's my favorite place. I enjoy areas of Ontario, but really I'd say it's BC, and maybe it's actually the Okanagan in Canada. Brian says, sign up the Twins. What was Dermott's injury? Concussion. After the All-Star game, they can throw in the towel. That might be a little bit late. Brian says, go Martin and goal. Clay, during the gritty, a new gif. It would be ugly. I'd rather have a goofy thumbs up than an embarrassing dance move. I don't even know how it is. Well, I do know how it is, but I can't do it. I can't do it well. Do I think Toronto's GM is desperate enough to make OEL for Muzzin? No, I don't think they're that desperate. If Bruce goes, do you think they hire a coach officially or name an interim coach like Yo or Colton for the rest of the year and decide in the offseason to hire someone else? That's the way they could go. I don't know if that's more likely or less likely than an established name or more accurately someone from external. That's a good point. I don't know, Justin. I really don't know. Do I think the entire coaching staff gets replaced? No. Rarely do you see a head coach and his 3 or 4 assistants, but stranger things have been done, but I don't think that happens. Taylor says he's at a loss with the team right now. Many people are. You think Demko's nagging injury affecting his play? Some say yes, some say no. I don't think so. I think it's more of the players in front of him. Yeah, I think isn't Sullivan and Trotz and Tocchet all available, Edmund? Brian used to live in Vernon. Look into bringing Manny Malhotra back. Yeah, does he have aspirations to be a head coach? That would be an interesting one. Stream is going good. Nutella, a little bit smaller than last night, but that's fine. We still have 65 people in here close to midnight, which is because I did start 45 minutes later today. Does Boudreaux even make it to the December 1st Hall of Fame game? Maybe not. Not if they lose badly tomorrow. Yeah, the rumors, Justin, it was one guy who said it. I think it was Sat Shah who said it on the show. And all he said was not that the Canucks were going to do it. He said, I would consider attaching Lekaramaki to OEL to get rid of the contract. So I wouldn't even call that a rumor. That was one person saying it. And then a few people picked up on it and made content about it. And I don't know if OEL is a full NMC. Yes, I have been to Victoria before. I like how chill it is. I do. I like the people there because that's where I hung out with Shannon, Coach Rob, and Chris Seifert for a bit. Speaking of Coach Rob, I'll be back a bit. No problem. When you come back, we might be done, but no problem. You think Kuzmenko and Rathbone will slide and line up tomorrow? I think Kuzmenko will. I don't think Rathbone will. Oh, Sullivan is still in Pittsburgh. Then what was I talking about then? What am I doing? Manny's future head coach in wait. Losing Malhotra affected them post-bubble season. Yeah, he was good. We talk about the players that were lost, but yeah, coaches were lost too. Going to the Sabres Canucks game. Awesome, Derek. Have a good time. Yeah, that's right. You can say it's tonight. Bringing Burles back. Yeah, you'd have to convince him to leave what he's doing now, but he'd be a great coach for sure. They should play all prospects rookies, develop them. Who cares if they lose 65 games in a row? Hopefully you don't get to that. Burles still in Montreal. Could change. You never know exactly. And then Fillmore saying Judd Brackett, our director of scouting, should have kept. Yeah, there's when you look at the last few years, there's been a lot of strange departures for sure. And I'm not going to the Sabres game in Buffalo. It sounds like, who was it? Derek is, not me. I'm still here in Vancouver. Do I think the loss of Tanev has become quite evident with how brutal? Yep. Tanev, I know there are questions about his durability, how much to pay him, but we're seeing just how valuable he is. I think some people thought Sullivan could come over because Pittsburgh does not look great recently, and Sullivan was with our current front office in Pittsburgh. Yes, and then I forgot that he's still coaching. Good point, but I do like him for sure. Could Call be the next head coach? I'm not convinced. Not convinced. With the Leaf injuries to Muzzin and Liljegren, would you sell Luke Shen or Myers to them? Myers, yes. Shen, no. Shen's contract's too good. Carol, thank you for donating. Thank you for getting on the donation train. Choo choo. Just want to thank you for being so positive. You are someone that I'm only speaking for myself. Mind you that I really look forward to talking with and listening to. Take care and God bless. Thank you, Carol. And don't worry, I know you missed our one-on-one chat tonight, but I'm glad you're okay, and I will reach out to you to reschedule later in the week. When's the next Canucks game you're going to? I'm actually going to Friday against LA, and I'm going to Monday against Vegas. Lucas says you can't put fingers on it because it's too much to put fingers on for sure. And lastly, I would personally be willing to trade Shen if we got at least 2 assets, even 3 back. But sadly, we are not going to get that much back for a guy who's got an expiring contract and only makes $800,000 a year. As valuable as he is to us, I think he won't be as valuable to a team wanting to pick him up. Friends, I'm going to wrap up here. We're 35 minutes in. We started a bit later because of Canucks After Dark, but I still appreciate everyone that stuck through until the very end. So moderators, thank you. It didn't look like you had to do too much tonight, which is good. We always like that. Legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Just Incredible. Both of you are in here. I don't think legendary Andrew Chang was because I think no, I know that he's occupied right now. So thank you to all you 3 legends, and thank you to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for watching tonight. If you're listening on the podcast platform, make sure you rate and review there. If you're here, make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave donations, gift memberships, become a member, and continue to comment on all my videos. I appreciate you on that. And thank you to my sponsors, my lead sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate, and my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. Tomorrow night, it is Tuesday, so I'll be bowling. So I'm not on Game Over Vancouver. I won't be doing my own post-game live stream because I'll be at bowling, but then I'll come back. I'll do my show at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. So hopefully you join me tomorrow night, same time, same place, right here on YouTube. Once again, thanks to everyone. Also, I forgot who donated tonight. I appreciate you. I think that was Justin, it was Carol, and it was Lucas. I appreciate your generosity as well. No, Brian, I only play games exactly on Sundays. Thank you, Fangirl and Carol, for mentioning that. But I appreciate all you guys for being here. So once again, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Today, my boss asked me why I only get sick on work days. And I said it must be my weakened immune system. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.